Have you ever been out filming a travel video and all of a sudden you realize, I have no idea what to film right now? Sometimes it's really hard to know what you should actually be filming. So let's talk about how to make your travel sequences way more interesting and epic. Hey guys, welcome to Travel Feels. Today we're going to talk about coverage. Travel films are basically just a bunch of different sequences in different places. It's going to the beach and going swimming or surfing. It's going on a hike and ending up in an epic scenic lookout. It's basically just a bunch of different little sequences or mini stories within your travel film. And sometimes you end up filming this travel film and then you get home and you realize, I just don't have enough footage. I don't have enough footage to make a really good travel film, or my footage just all look the same. All the shots are the same basically, and I can't cut from one to the next. Whenever I make a documentary type film, which is what travel films are most of the time, I'm trying to think of what are all the different things that you can naturally do in those settings. I don't like doing too many fake setups, so I like to think what are the natural things a person would be doing in these settings. And you want to think of as many different things as possible to help you out in your editing process. And this is where coverage comes into play. To illustrate this, I filmed my friend Erik skating this handrail to kind of show you what I mean by coverage. If you want to see more of Erik's rollerblading, check out the film I linked down below. Go like his video and comment on it and send him some love. So coverage is super important when you don't have a clear storyboard of what you want to be filming, which is most of the time for travel films. You're not going to be able to storyboard all the different kinds of shots that you want, so you want to get as much footage as possible so you have an easier time in your editing process. So in this example, I didn't just film him skating the handrail, I filmed him walking up to the rail, setting up, putting on his rollerblades, waxing the railing, preparing for it, and then I filmed him skating the handrail, and then I filmed some ender shots to kind of end the sequence with. Try to tell as much story as you can in each shot. So it's really good to have your characters appear in as many shots as possible. Don't just show all these different scenery. Have your characters be a part of that shot in some way so they're in the environment and interacting with the environment. It'll be way more interesting instead of just having a bunch of scenery shots to have your characters being there and being a part of that scene. And what coverage really means is to have a bunch of different varieties of each of those shots. So not only did I film Erik walking up to the rail and preparing for it, I also filmed different types of shots in each of those settings. So I filmed a bunch of different shots of him walking. I filmed a bunch of different shots of him putting on his rollerblades. You really want to be getting wide shots, medium shots, and tight shots. All three of those as often as possible. This really helps the editing process. You never want to go to editing and just be wishing that, oh, if only I had this wide shot right here. All I have is these close-ups. You want to get a variety in your shots, a medium, a tight, a wide, as often as possible. It really also helps to cut your films instead of just always cutting from medium shot to medium shot to medium shot. Maybe you're going from a wide to a nice tight shot and then back out to a medium. There's a little bit more variety there. For example, imagine if I filmed this whole sequence with just tight shots the whole time. It just isn't as good. You don't have a sense of the space or what's really going on. The mind just kind of gets numb and bored. And side tip here is that you don't want to be doing too many tight shots in your edits. What happens with tight shots is that when the brain sees a tight shot, it thinks that this is something really important. And if that thing that you're showing in a tight shot isn't actually that important, then the mind starts thinking that, well, maybe none of this is important, and you start getting bored and disinterested in the edit. So make sure if you're doing close-ups, it's something specific that you really want to be highlighting or telling story through that close-up. Don't just throw a whole bunch of tight shots because they look cool. It's not going to be good for your storytelling process, and people are going to get really bored really fast. Save those tight shots for specific reasons when you're trying to highlight something and really bring importance to that one thing. But back to coverage. Think about your travel films as a bunch of different sequences, almost like mini stories in there. Don't just get one shot because then you won't be able to tell that mini story. You want a bunch of different shots to tell that mini story and then tell the next mini story and tell the next mini story. That way you can really keep the viewer's attention and keep the story going. It helps to have some build-up also. For example, in the rollerblading example, if I didn't have all those setup shots, there wouldn't be this build-up of tension, suspense for what's gonna happen next. If I just went straight into it, it would kind of be anticlimactic and a little bit boring. You want a beginning, a middle, and an end to each sequence. Think about it like an editor while you're shooting. Think about what kind of shots you might be needing to intro the sequence, to carry the story through, and then to finish it off. When you get into the habit of thinking about coverage, you'll have a way easier time making interesting, epic travel films. Your shots won't all look the same, and you'll have just a variety of shots to choose from. And the purpose in the end is to tell story. If you're thinking about coverage, you're gonna be able to tell your story much better than if you're just getting tight shot after tight shot after tight shot. So next time you're out and you don't know what to film, don't panic. Stop, think, what are the natural things your characters could be doing? And then figure out different kinds of shots that you can get. Think coverage. What are the medium, the tight, and the wide shots that you can get in each of those situations? And you even want to be thinking about things like movement. Maybe you want a static shot just as a safety. Then you want some movement from left to right and then from right to left, because you never know what you're gonna need in your edit. Maybe there's a really nice drone shot that's going this way, and then the next clip that you want to use is actually going this way, but you wish you had one that was going the same way. It really helps to build fluid edits that just have these smooth transitions. The more shots you have, the better chances you have of making an interesting, epic travel film. Think about natural shots, think about coverage, think about movement, and boom, you're ready to go edit that epic travel film. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Like, share these videos. I love all the positivity that's going around this channel. Let's keep that going. Guys, enjoy the filmmaking process and go get some of those travel feels.